Piers Morgan suggested Britain faced an economic crisis and was in the midst of chaos before the country was brought to a standstill after Queen Elizabeth II sadly died on September 8. The UK mourned the loss of Her Majesty, the longest-reigning monarch, who died after 70 years on the throne, over the past 10 days. The 57-year-old spoke out in his latest column, as he reflected on the troubles which gripped the nation, from skyrocketing energy and food prices, crime, union strikes, the impact of the pandemic on the NHS, the housing crisis and Brexit. The uncensored presenter addressed the removal of Boris Johnson as the UK's Prime Minister and his administration making the country a global laughingstock, with reports of breaking lockdown rules and the infamous Partygate. Writing in his column for The Sun, he penned, "It felt like Britain was quite literally turning to SHT, and the United Kingdom had never been more disunited. But then the Queen died, and everything stopped." Piers explained the loss of Her Majesty saw the country come to a halt and Brits' attention turned away from economic and political woes, instead focusing on what made Britain great over the past 10 days of mourning. The Talk TV host said unrivaled pomp and pageantry took the world's breath away as the UK paid tribute to the Queen. The broadcaster praised BBC's coverage in the lead-up to the Queen's funeral, which was held on September 19, and he applauded the masterful host Hugh Edwards, who covered much of the channel's coverage of the Queen. Piers went on to share poignant moments that occurred over the course of 10 days, most notably the royal family uniting and also the British public. He touched on the now famous queue which saw thousands of mourners line the streets to say their final goodbye to Her Majesty as they viewed her coffin lying in state. Piers admitted this particular moment in history stirred my soul. "The queue stirred my soul because it made me realize just how unique and brilliant the British people are, and how we're so clearly at our best when we're united not divided, as we've shown time again from World War II to the first terrifying wave of the COVID pandemic," he wrote. The Queen's magic was her ability to rise above the toxic fray of political partisanship and bring us all back together, even in her death. Matt Baker shares newest member to family amid nod to Queen latest Richard Osman breaks silence on pointless replacement TV Monty Don's exhausted puppy not impressed by first day of filming admission, Piers admitted he is under no illusion Britain is still facing tough times ahead, as the cost of living crisis continues to be a growing concern, but he shared Britain's coming together in the midst of the Queen's death makes him proud to be British. Queen Elizabeth's final journey on the state gun carriage was a well-drilled procession from Westminster Abbey to Wellington Arch. Her coffin, pulled by 142 Royal Navy sailors, was escorted by her family as an estimated 2 million people swamped key central London spots such as the Mall, Whitehall and Parliament Square to pay their respects. King Charles III followed on foot, accompanied by brothers Princes Andrew and Edward and sister Princess Anne. Behind him was William alongside the Duke of Sussex and cousin Peter Phillips. The Princess of Wales, children Prince George, 9, and Princess Charlotte, 7, and the Queen Consort Camilla looked at the crowds waiting to revere Britain's longest-reigning monarch. Her Majesty was later laid to rest following a private burial ceremony at St George's Chapel, Windsor. She was buried alongside her late husband, the Duke of Edinburgh, and her father, mother and sister.